Hi, I'm Nathan Berner from the Nathan and Ben YouTube account. This is the pre-game show for Game 6, Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Rangers. If Tampa Bay wins tonight, Tampa Bay goes to the Stanley Cup and eliminates the New York Rangers from the East. On the other hand, if New York wins tonight, they go back to New York for Game 7 to see who will go for the Stanley Cup, representing the Eastern Conference. Before we get into tonight's game, let's just have a brief conversation about last night's game. We had quite a good game on our hands. In the first period, at the end of the first period, it was 3-1. Chicago Blackhawks, exhausted from their double overtime win back in Chicago 3 days ago now. They had a very, very tiresome first period. On the other hand, though, the second period, they tried a lot harder. They really woke up. In fact, after the second period, it was 3-2 Anaheim. Going into the third period, 3-2, the Anaheim Ducks scored with 3 minutes to go, making it 4-2. Everyone thought it was going to be over, and the Blackhawks were done for this game. However, they're able to score a goal with an extra skater on the ice because of an empty net. Not only one goal, but two. Jonathan Toews tied it up with 37 seconds to go in the third period. Jonathan Toews, he scored an amazing goal, tricking kind of Anderson through the side view. Very impressive work by Jonathan Toews and the Blackhawks for trying to get their team in overtime. They went into overtime, the first overtime, with around 19 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Berleski for the Anaheim Ducks scored with the assist from Kessler off the rebound of Crawford. Quite a tough goal to score, although he did not have any defense on him. He did have to make a great wrist shot to win the overtime game in Anaheim. Now the series is 3-2 Anaheim, going back to Chicago for Game 6, I believe, tomorrow. If the Chicago Blackhawks win that game, they tie it and go to Game 7 in Anaheim. Although, if Anaheim wins Game 6 in Chicago, then the Anaheim Ducks have won the series and go to the Stanley Cup, representing the Western Conference. For tonight's game, last night's NHL 3 stars of the night. Last night's I'm sorry about that, technical difficulties. Last night's NHL 3 stars of the night will be revealed right after the break. Do you want to advertise for a reasonable price? Well, now you can if you email the following email address: bernernathan@gmail.com. That's BERNATHAN@gmail.com. All lowercase BERNATHAN@gmail.com. Advertise for a very reasonable price. Prices are negotiable. Get tons of views for your advertisements on multiple YouTube channels. Either I can make your advertisements, or you can make your advertisements. Email now at bernernathan@gmail.com, all lowercase. Back to the broadcast. Last night's NHL 3 stars of the night were Matt Beleskey, scoring one goal, which was the first overtime winning goal. 0 assists and 1 point for the Anaheim Ducks. Ryan Kessler, for the Anaheim Ducks. One goal, one assist, equaling to 2 points. Center Jonathan Toews, 2 goals, 0 points. I'm sorry, 0 assists, and 2 points. Um, for tonight's game, the New York Rangers and the Tampa Bay Lightning in Tampa tonight. If Tampa wins, they go to the Cup. If New York wins, they go back to Game 7 to New York. Both goalies have lots of pressure tonight. Ben Bishop for the Tampa Bay Lightning. If he loses the game, he has to show up for another Game 7. Henrik Lundqvist for the New York Rangers. Lots of pressure on him as well tonight. Trying to get to Game 7. Both teams need to stay out of the penalty box. Both goalies need to play their best games. New York has to rely on Nash. Tampa has to rely on Stamkos. It's going to be a tough game, equaling out to the tough series. Who will win? Well, I guess we'll find out tonight. The NHL poll for the Chicago Blackhawks and the Chicago Blackhawks and the Anaheim Ducks will be revealed right after the break. Want to learn a language for free? My YouTube channel is Nathan Berner. Learn 16 different languages. Study with vocabulary and grammar, and there are tons. Excuse the technical difficulties, please. YouTube channel, Nathan Berner. Do you want to advertise for a reasonable price? I apologize for the technical difficulties while playing commercial. Right back to the broadcast. The NHL poll for which team down 3-2 has better chance of winning its series. So the fan poll was, which team down 3-2 has the better chance of winning its series? The Chicago Blackhawks or the New York Rangers? The majority picked the Chicago Blackhawks, but it was very close. 51% for the Blackhawks and 49% for the Rangers. Why is this? Chicago has more stars. New York Rangers does not have as many stars as Chicago does, making Chicago more of the favorite team. However, New York does have Lundqvist, which compensates really New York for some of that loss. However, though, on the other side, if Corey Crawford plays a great game, then that could really make the difference for Chicago Blackhawks. Remember, this is a very close poll, so you can see how a lot of people would think that New York Rangers could definitely come down 3-2. But I think Chicago Blackhawks are more capable of doing that because of Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, Duncan Keith, Hossa, Saad. All of these players are really contributing to their team, and they really can come through with them and win two games in a row to win the series and go to the Stanley Cup. Thank you for watching this May 26, 2015 Game 6 pre-game show. New York Rangers and the Tampa Bay Lightning Um, Thank you for viewing and watching. It has been a pleasure on this broadcast. This has been the Nathan and Ben YouTube channel, and good night.